For example, when I met you first, I was scared to tell you that he's Russian because I didn't know how you would react. Because you know that at that point, Ukrainians, and now still, and it will continue for a long time, it seems to me, but they were reacting, for ages, it will continue for ages. But they were, and they are reacting aggressive when they hear that someone is Russian, right?
Yes.
Even when they hear Russian speech.
I have to say, I'm like, sometimes when I meet someone who's from Russia originally, I'm kind of cautious. I just don't know what their opinions of the war are, and until I find out, I'm kind of like on edge.
I remember your eyes narrowed when you heard that.
Were they?
Yeah.
Probably for a second, but then again, when we started talking, when we found out like your guys' story, I was like, okay, we're good. But that's just like that's so weird.
It is, but then also it felt weird that I was feeling that, right? So kind of, I know who he is. I know that he's against the war. I know that he left as soon as he had a chance to, and that was like before I left Ukraine. He left in the beginning of March, I guess, 1st or 2nd. But still, I was ashamed to admit to tell someone that he was Russian.
It's like you have to explain the whole story.
Yes, and I felt, and that's what I did to you again. I told you that. Oh, but he's like a good Russian. Like I tried
protecting.
to. Yeah, I felt like I had to explain that to you, even though you didn't ask.
Yeah.
But I felt that I had to explain myself.
Yeah.
To you.
Your reasoning behind being.
Yeah, and not only to you, but like to everyone I spoke to, right? To every Ukrainian I have ever had to introduce my husband to.
That's a lot of work, and that's a lot of stress on you. I mean, you're probably used to it by now.
But I don't care now. Now I don't feel that, but we don't meet new people, and now I don't feel like I'm obliged to, because we are in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I have to explain why he's Russian. If he's in Canada, that should tell you something.
Right. He's not back in Russia, and you're here. That would be different. Yeah. But since he came here, he has different views, and his political views are a lot different from people out there.
Right, yeah. But I also didn't see any Ukrainians that were, like, too crazy, right?
Were there, like, any Ukrainians that were judging you or, like, said anything? No?
Like, I was lucky, I guess. I never met anyone that was judging. Maybe they were.
Yeah, they could have.
But they didn't tell me that, at least. So they were not crazy enough to tell me that, let's say. But I know that my husband, when at his first work, he worked with Ukrainians, and it was fine for them to make some jokes about him, not in a good way, and to mock him somehow. So he faced that, and not me.
Russians do face it a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And they also have to kind of protect their views here.
Right. But then why do you have to explain someone?
Yeah, we're in a free country, and everyone has their own views.
Yeah, but also, who are you for me to explain you something? Like, if there's a random person, right, on the internet or on the street that hears you speak in Russian, like, who are you for me to actually explain you something?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why is it happening?
100%. On my end, I've felt like I've had a few friends who are from Russia here, and when I would tell like my family in Ukraine or somebody like with Ukrainian heritage that my friend is Russian or like they're from Russia, I would always also had to explain that. But they fully protect Ukraine. They're against the war. They were engaging in a protest when the war started, so like fully supportive, because again I felt that like
you have to
your friend with a Russian, why is that? Like Ukrainian, but like, and again I've lived here most of my life, so who am I really? I'm a hybrid. and that's a story for another video, but like Jesus, we're in Canada. But
still feel that shame. It's like there's no explanation to that.
So at this moment, do you want to return to your hometown, or when the war ends, right? For example, if it ends in a few years, who knows? It could be in 10 years. Or do you feel like Canada has become your new home?
That is a question that will make me cry.
Will it? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, because I see what's happening to my city. Like, I see what's happening to the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
But my city, that's what pains me
Mm-hmm.
most. And when I don't think I will be able to return there. I don't think I'll be able to live there, because the life there is changed forever,
Mm-hmm.
completely, forever. It will
So
never
sad.
be as it was.
Pre-war, yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, it will. It will never return to the way it was.
And people
are
have
changed.
changed, right?
Yeah, people are changed. It's difficult to talk to my friend because she knows I'm married to Russian,
Mm-hmm.
and she still sometimes might comment, just tell me something that is like, oh, why are they talking to us? Why are they trying to warn me? Or like, because my husband, he has friends in military,
Oh, right, right.
and
On the Russian side.
yeah, and when they were planning on
The attack?
attacking my city,
Mm-hmm.
his friend warned me and warned my friend,
Mm-hmm.
but she saw it, like, she didn't take it as a warning that she maybe should leave, which she refused.
Right.
She took it as an offense. Why are they talking to us? Why is he warning me? Why is he invading my country? And I mean, I understand that, and I did not have any communication with that person, but
She just didn't want to hear it.
I want to admit that it was the truth. That's why. And she's trying to attack in return. Oh, like, he's warning you, so like maybe
Yeah.
make some action, try to
Yeah.
leave, but you never did. So like,
Just the fact that he's Russian and he's trying to.
yeah, but he's trying to help you in
Yeah.
this case. But again, doesn't justify what he was
No,
doing.
yeah, of course not.
Yeah. So, and when I asked her to take my things from my house, and she would FaceTime me and would show me my house, I would cry just at the look of the walls of
Total.
my house, because months before the war started, we finished renovations of our house.
That's brutal.
I was doing it for my family. I knew that I will not be living in that house, but I was doing it for my mom and grandma. I knew at that point I won't be living in the house. Like, I would move to probably a different country. And at that point, it was going to be Russia.
That's scary. How your life could have been
Right?
so
Yeah.
different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were planning to move together with my now husband. And yeah, the plan was to move to Russia, but the war started. And then just looking at those walls, at the house that is completely lifeless, I cried.
Heartbreaking.
I couldn't look at it. I couldn't bear, like, because I knew where everything was. It was as I
Yeah.
left it, and to see it, and to understand that no one is there. I probably won't get back anytime soon, was literally breaking my heart. And to see now how destroyed the city is, it's even worse, because I would stumble upon some video on YouTube showing a beautiful city, a city that they also just renovated.
Right.
Like, they were renovating it for 10 years. They just finished.
Yeah.
It finally became pleasant to live in the city. It was pleasant to walk in it. It was
So
so
much work.
nice.
Yeah, it's
And it
Kharkiv is
just-
a beautiful city.
It is. And now it's just ruined. I hear that I don't check the news, because in the beginning of war, we were constantly checking every second. We were in our phones basically checking the news, but I stopped that. Like, it was happening for 6 months, I guess. We were like constantly in the phones. And then I stopped, because like my husband was like, because I was in there, I wasn't in Ukraine physically, but I was in the phone, like telling him all that stuff. But then still to this point, when I hear on the news that there was a missile in
Yeah.
Kharkiv, I check
Where?
it went, because I'm afraid that it's my house or my friend's house or like somewhere.
That you know, or yeah, or literally anyone.
Yeah, but I still check. I am
Yeah.
afraid to see my house in there, because that will mean that there is nowhere to return. Like, literally nowhere.
Completely, yeah.
There is nowhere to return. It's still difficult to digest.
Mm-hmm.
And that will answer your second question. There is no home. I don't have it. It's there. It's standing there, but it's empty. I
That's
can't
so
say, oh, now I'm crying.
heartbreaking.
I can't say that Canada is my home. I don't feel it yet. I feel safe here. And I hope,
At least you feel safe.
yes, I'm hopeful for that. And I'm not hopeful, I'm thankful that Canada allowed Ukrainians to come here. Because at that moment, it felt like it is the most distant place on earth. And it will be safe here. It is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not feeling home. I still cry because I don't have it at home.
And of course, like just the first few years, you're not going to feel home. And that's totally normal. And I hope in a few years you will feel like home or something will change. Oh, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine how you feel.
I don't want you to understand that. It's not right to understand that. And you shouldn't understand that. No person should understand how it feels like. Because it's completely absurd that this can happen now.
Yes. In 21st century, again, in Eastern Europe, in the greatest country, like the most beautiful country.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been in Ukraine since 2010, which is crazy, but I've seen all the videos, pictures of like the cities, and
Yeah. It became good.
it is
People
just
started to live there. They really started
enjoyed
to live.
living there. Like lots of tourists would come and everyone would say like Ukraine is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was underrated because no one really knew about Ukraine that much, right? But
Yeah.
then when the cities and the countries started actually like showing off as like, oh, this is a great tourist destination. Like come enjoy our food. Ukraine is beautiful. Ukraine is, I mean, it's my motherland and I love it. But oh my God, I hate it. I hate what they've done with our country, my motherland, and your country, your home. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and feelings. And thank you for listening to Lali's story, and I hope you enjoyed it, as difficult as it was. And this is a story that should be told and heard. If you liked this video,
We'd be glad if you subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up. See you in the next one.